Section 3.2, adding and subtracting linear expressions. In this section, we will find the sums and differences of linear expressions, meaning we will add and subtract. Okay, so there are two different methods when you add linear expressions. The first method is vertical and the second method is horizontal. So going over the vertical method, we are going to rewrite the expression so that one is on top of the other. Just like if you were to have 15 plus 17, you could rewrite that to be 15 plus 17, right? This is the vertical method. So we're going to do the same thing here with our two expressions. I'm going to put the one expression on top of the other, aligning the variables so they are in the same column and the constants are in the same column. And we are going to add it. And just as we do over here, we're going to add each column. So we have a plus 5 or a positive 5 plus a negative 8. Those are different signs, so we subtract and we end up with a negative 3. And then we're going to add in this column here, that's x plus 3x, which gives us 4x. And that is our answer, 4x minus 3. Okay, now the horizontal method. It's slightly longer, but just as easy. Okay, so with the horizontal method, the first thing we want to do is rewrite the expressions, taking away the parentheses and keeping that addition sign between the two. So we can write this as negative 3y plus 7 plus 15y plus negative 20. And I am separating every the other terms with parentheses just so it's easier at this point in time to see them individually. Okay, so we did that. Now we need to use the commutative property of addition, which remember says a plus b equals b plus a, meaning 1 plus 2 equals 2 plus 1. Doesn't matter which order you add them in, right? It's going to come up with the same answer. Okay, so let's rearrange this so that our y's are next to each other. Negative 3y plus 15y. And now we're going to get our constants close to each other. 7 plus a negative 20. Okay, so now we can combine these like terms. We have a negative 3y plus a 15y. They're different signs, so we subtract and we end up with 12y. And over here, we're going to combine these like terms. We have a 7 plus a negative 20. They're different signs, so we subtract and we end up with a negative 13. Right? So our answer becomes 12y minus 13. Okay, now it's time for you to write in your notes. You will do, or actually finish doing a couple adding problems using both the vertical method and the horizontal method. Okay, now that you've done that, we are going to move on to subtracting linear expressions. And these are basically the same as adding. There's just one slight difference. So we have the same two methods. We have vertical method and horizontal method. And we will start with our vertical method. Remember, vertical method is the same as this, right? 15 plus 17, where you align them in columns. So we're going to do that. So we pick one to be on top. This 2x plus 7 is going to, expression will be on top. And now we need to add the opposite. So here we have subtraction. We want to add the opposite. Now the opposite of negative x is x. And the opposite of positive 3 is negative 3. So now this becomes an addition problem. So we're going to add in columns 7 plus a negative 3 is a 4. And 2x plus x is 3x. So our answer becomes 3x plus 4. Remember, you add the opposite. Add the opposite of that. Okay. Now using the horizontal method, it's basically the same as the horizontal method in adding, but with one little difference, and that difference comes at the very beginning. We add the opposite. So we are going to rewrite this and making sure that we add the opposite. Add the opposite of that. So this becomes m minus 3. We want to add the opposite of that. So opposite of negative m is positive m. The opposite of positive 12 is negative 12. Okay, so that's our new expression, or yep. And then we want to use the commutative property of addition so that we can rewrite this so we can more easily group or combine our like terms. So this becomes m plus a negative 3 plus m plus a negative 12. Okay, here goes the commutative property. We're going to rearrange these a little bit, and it becomes m plus negative 3 plus negative 12. Okay, so now we have our m's together, and we have our constants together. M plus m is 2m. Negative 3 plus negative 12, those are both the same signs. We just add them, and it becomes negative 15. And our answer becomes 2m minus 15. Okay, now it's time for you to write in your notes to finish 2 problems. One is a vertical method and one is a horizontal method, and you just need to fill in the blanks. Okay, now that you've done that, there are 2 practice problems for you to do. All right, let's go over those practice problems. The first practice problem, let's use the vertical method for this one. You can use either method that you want, but let's try the vertical method for this one. Remember, vertical method is when we align them vertically, making sure that the constants line up and the variables line up. So let's write this first one, 2x plus 2. And now we're going to align this another one. But look, this is kind of out of order. So we can, using the commutative property, we know we can rewrite this part as 4x plus a minus 7. So let's rewrite that. 4x plus a minus 7. Right, because it doesn't matter which order we do it in, it's going to come up with the same answer. So negative 7 plus 4x is the same as 4x plus negative 7. Okay. I'm going to add straight down, and you should come up with an answer. Okay, so that's my help on that one. My help on the next one is I'm going to use the horizontal method. And so with the horizontal method, remember, we first need to add the opposite. Here we go. We're going to add the opposite. What's the opposite of 4y? Negative 4y. What's the opposite of negative 8? Positive 8. Okay, now rewrite this so that we can more easily combine our like terms. Okay, so let's find our y's. There's that one, and here's this one. So plus 4y. Now our constants. Okay, Now, given that, what is your answer? Okay, that concludes 3.2.